All right, today is day number 34, one day prior to day 35, which marks the end of week number 5. I give you guys so much credit. It has been 35 days straight of boot camp, and you guys are cooking. You're cooking. You're doing great. Love the commitment. Have to remember that commitment and keep that flame burning as we come to the end of 6 weeks of boot camp. Start thinking about ways that you are going to continue to exercise, that you're going to continue to eat well, that you're going to continue to take care of yourself emotionally. Things like stress management, meditation, relaxation, Tai Chi, yoga, etc., etc., etc. We have a great day planned for you today. We've got a webinar and a live presentation at 12 noon Eastern time, and some arms and some Amalia, and have a great day, my friends. You can do it. Bye-bye. All right, so today's question of the day is about mucus. So today's question of the day is, why do I still produce so much mucus at night? And that's a great question, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. So let me give you a primer on mucus. A primer on mucus. Mucus primer, take 1. All right, so I forgot to include the second part of that question. So it's, can someone please tell me why I am still producing so much phlegm at night, all night, and I am losing my voice from coughing? So a couple of things that you need to understand about mucus, okay? So when we are assessing people's mucus, or I'll speak for myself, when I am assessing somebody's mucus, these are the questions I ask. Are you coughing? It's like a flow chart. So the first question is, are you coughing? Yes or no? If the answer is no, I'm not coughing, well, that is preferable to yes, I am coughing, okay? So let's say no, we move on to the next question. Yes, I am coughing, okay? If you are coughing, are you productive or non-productive? And that's another way of saying, are you able to bring up mucus, or are you not able to bring up mucus? And then if you're able to bring up mucus, the next question becomes, is it clear, white, or colored? And if they say it's clear, great. We want our mucus to be clear or white. Is it white? Okay, great. Or is it colored? If it's colored, the question is, what color? So as I just said, we want clear or white. Yellowish, greenish is leaning towards infection, okay? However, there are some people who have chronic conditions who will always have yellow or green, things like MAC, MAI, NTM, non-tuberculosis mycobacterium, and others, okay, bronchiectasis. The other thing we want to ask is, if you are not bringing it up, the question then becomes, well, is it that you don't have it, meaning that you don't have excess secretions to bring up, and therefore you have a dry cough and you don't hear it rattling around inside, or that you simply don't have the mucus, okay? So for example, there are certain conditions where you're going to have a chronic cough. That's going to be a chronic dry cough, okay? Pulmonary fibrosis is one of those conditions where people will hack and cough and cough and cough and cough, but nothing comes up, okay? Incidentally, one thing I discovered years ago that is extremely successful in a majority of people for that dry hacking cough are Fisherman's Friend throat lozenges, okay? Fisherman's Friend throat lozenges. And if you don't have this issue where you don't have a chronic cough that you can't do anything about, don't say, well, I use Ricola, or I use this, or I use that, because I've also tried all of these different things, and the only one that works specifically with an IPF cough more so than any other one is Fisherman's Friend. All right, other things about this, okay? So when people cough, okay, you have to recognize that mucus is actually a protector of us, right? So in the same way, when we are exposed to something toxic or a trigger, a car blows by us in the street and spews that dirt, bronchoconstriction is actually a protective mechanism designed to not let that crap get deep into your lungs. Likewise, mucus is a similar type of thing, which is designed to catch particles of dirt and dust and chemicals and debris, etc., 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 and then help you to bring it up where you can cough it up. Now, most of us are producing mucus all day, every day, but it happens in such small quantities that we either swallow it, or we spit it, or we speak it out in water vapor, and it's not a major problem. But when bronchoconstriction and secretion production go on hyperdrive or overdrive, that's when it becomes a particular problem. So people with bronchiectasis, people with chronic bronchitis per se, and so on and so forth. Now, let's say you have the mucus. You don't clear the mucus, but when your doctor listens to you, he can hear the mucus, okay? You can hear the mucus. Maybe your spouse or partner hears the mucus moving around inside you, but no matter what you do, you cannot bring it up, okay? In order to understand this, you have to take a look at the trachea. So here's the trachea, okay? Now, if you notice, this is the windpipe, and the windpipe is going to split into right and left main stem bronchus, okay? And then it's going to split into right upper lobe bronchus, right middle lobe bronchus, right lower lobe bronchus, and on the left it's going to split into right upper and middle and lower lobe bronchi, okay? Now the thing to understand is that this is where the split occurs. So this is about here. And the cough mechanism is really only going to be regularly effective from this point up, which means that you can have mucus all the way down here and it can rattle around and rattle around and rattle around, and unless you do something to actually help your body get rid of it, and there's many different techniques that you can use for that, that mucus will continue to rattle around. Now you ask specifically about nighttime, okay? Now think of this tree that I just showed you, okay, like a ketchup bottle, right? So here's my ketchup like this. I can shake this till the cows come home, right? But until I put it in the right position where gravity can assist it, none of this ketchup is going to come out. And it's the same thing that happens with your airways and mucus, right? So you notice in the upright position, gravity is going to bring all mucus down. Now, this here is my right side, okay? So imagine this is me laying on my left side, and you notice that, look, now all of these bronchi and bronchioles are in a position to drain mucus up to where we can actually cough it up, okay? When we have this here and we lie down on our right side, that's the best position to drain the left lower lobes, okay? The other thing is that so gravity will always bring solids and liquids down and air will rise. So for example, let's say you have mucus over here in your right lower lobe, right? It's clogging the airway, and it's not allowing you to cough it up. And in addition, it's not allowing you to fully aerate the lung. Well, guess what? We lie down on our left side. Gravity will help to clear these secretions into an area where we could bring them up. And air is going to enter this area to help provide you with clean, oxygen-rich air. Okay? So there's that. The other thing, here I am lying down flat. So in this case, again, gravity is going to help to drain these secretions into an area where you will be able to cough them up. So the question then becomes, is it that you're producing more at night? Is it that you're just more aware of it because you're lying down and they're draining? Or is it something else? So there's that question right there. And the other thing that comes to mind, excuse me, and the other thing that comes to mind when it comes to discomfort at night is, could it also be reflux? Because reflux can also cause you to have that sensation of some big gooey glob in your throat that you can cough up, as well as burning, as well as a sore throat, as well as other things that seem similar to this. So now here's the other thing. When it comes to reflux, very often people with reflux are advised not to lie flat. They're advised to sleep on a wedge. So think about that. If you have reflux and you have a condition that is respiratory in nature that will cause you to produce a lot of secretions, and you're told never to lie flat, well, guess what? That takes away from some prime drainage that's going to occur, that is going to leave that mucus deep in your lungs, where it has the ability to increase your chances of developing an infection. So in summary, what am I saying? I'm saying you're producing more mucus at night. My question would be, is it that you're producing more mucus at night, or are you just more aware of it because you're draining more mucus at night? In which case you need to drain that mucus. So you need to come up with some kind of active secretion clearance protocol, and whether that be the aerobica or the acapella or chest physical therapy or a vest, etc., you've got to do something to regularly clear your lungs, okay? The other thing is, if you do some of these things and there's no improvement, then I would also look at a gastrointestinal possible solution for this, because even secretions coming up should not be burning, okay? But acid, stomach acid can be burning and can give you a sore throat. Finally, there are people who have both respiratory disease and acid reflux, and for these people, it's really important that they delineate what is causing their symptoms and treating what is causing their symptoms. And in particular, the esophagus, which brings food to the stomach, and the trachea, which brings air to the lungs, okay, sit in very, very close proximity to each other. Now, certainly air can go over into your stomach if you eat fast, if you swallow air, and cause you greater discomfort and increased distension and increased shortness of breath. But another concern is that stomach acid can actually leave the GI system and go into your airways, where it can cause significant inflammation and potentially infection, okay? I would discuss both these possibilities with your physician. I would ask about a secretion clearance device or getting on a secretion clearance protocol, and particularly an hour before bed would be a great time to do that, so you're going to sleep clear. You're not going to bed congested and then draining over the course of the next couple of hours, okay? I hope that is helpful to you. Have a great day. A great day.